The Ghana Health Service is expected to begin inoculating persons who are yet to receive the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine early next week. The service on August 18, 2021, took delivery of some 249,000 doses of the vaccines from the UK government to support its vaccination drive. Programs Manager of the Expanded Program on Immunization at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Kwame Aponsa-Achiano, however, says priority will be given to frontline health workers and vulnerable persons who have already taken their first jab. AstraZeneca was the first vaccine to arrive in Ghana earlier this year when the country heightened its efforts to beat COVID-19. Out of the about 800,000 people to have been vaccinated with AstraZeneca, nearly half of the number is yet to get the second jab. Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, Mr. James Kluche Aveji, has called on more powers to be invested in the committee to enable it to sanction erring public officials. He said that would enable the PAC to deal with officials who lied before the committee after taking the oath to ensure that public funds were duly accounted for. Some appear before the committee and lie, even after taking the oath. If we have the powers, we can order for such persons to be picked up by the police for further investigations, he said. The chairman said the failure of some officials to speak the truth before the committee had been recurring at PAC sittings over the years. According to him, at the moment, the committee can only make recommendations after interrogating officials over the handling of public funds. Mr. Aveji made the call at PAC's public hearing in Temale, the northern regional capital, yesterday over 4 Auditor General reports that have been referred to the committee for consideration. The Lands Ministry has initiated processes to ban the use and assembly of CHANG-FA boats which float on water bodies for drenches. Declaring the equipment illegal is part of government's drive to halt the drenching of water bodies for gold. The move will allow the task force against illegal mining to arrest equipment producers and destroy production workshops. The mounting of the drench equipment, known as CHANG-FA, has become common as gold miners desperately search for the ore in the river bodies. As part of efforts to deal with the drenchers, government intends to deploy river guards to complement the works of the security agencies in halting bad mining practices. The ministry has already inaugurated a task force of the Small Scale Mining Association to support the fight against illegal mining, especially on rivers. The Energy Ministry is expected to meet the National Petroleum Authority in September to finalize a cabinet memo on the lifting of ban on construction of new liquefied petroleum gas outlets. Chief Director of the ministry, Lawrence Aponsi, said NPA in the last few years has placed a ban on the construction of new LPG outlets, causing discontent among marketers. According to him, with the cylinder recirculation model coming in, there have been issues as to how to roll out the program, with one of them being the new refilling plants. He said LPG marketers have been appealing to the ministry to lift the ban. After the atomic junction gas explosion in 2017, construction of new LPG refill outlets was banned, citing safety concerns. This drew bad blood between LPG marketers and gas tanker drivers on one hand and NPA on the other. The Ghana Union of Traders Associations wants the government to abort plans to scrap the 50% reduction in benchmark values. GUTA insists that if the reversal is carried through, it will adversely affect their businesses. There are rumors that government intends to reverse the 50% reduction in benchmark values introduced about 2 years ago. President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, says such a move would be insensitive to the trading community looking at their current predicament compounded by the outbreak of COVID-19. In May this year, there were rumors of scrapping of the reduction, but the Ghana Revenue Authority debunked the assertion, describing it as untrue. But the issue has resurrected, as GUTA says new leads indicate that the government is making plans to reverse the 50% relief on benchmark values of some imported goods. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has revealed that government will withdraw the almost $1 billion from the International Monetary Fund to support the economy. According to the minister, this is needed to aid the ongoing economic recovery. Mr. Ofori-Atta added that government will target some critical areas that will help in fast-tracking the recovery of the economy. According to him, government is considering directing the funds to sectors that will aid in job creation as well as areas under the Ghana Cares program. At the same time, areas such as improving revenue mobilization and digitalization of the economy is being prioritized. The IMF board earlier this month approved $650 billion to support member countries in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. Member countries are expected to have their accounts credited with their share of the $650 billion from August 23, 2021. Former South African President Jacob Zuma is asking the public to donate funds to support his legal battles. He's facing trial for corruption linked to a $5 billion arms deal. A post on his foundation's official Twitter page asks South Africans and the world to, quote, lend a helping hand to cover his legal fees. The post includes bank account details in the name of J.G. Zuma. Zuma has been serving a 15-month sentence since July for contempt of court for failing to appear at a separate inquiry into corruption. He was admitted to hospital earlier this month, delaying the start of the arms deal trial, where he faces multiple charges, including fraud and racketeering. He has pleaded not guilty, saying the trial is politically motivated. Pfizer's 2-dose COVID-19 vaccine has received full approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the first jab to be licensed in the nation. The vaccine had initially been given emergency use authorization. Its 2 jabs, 3 weeks apart, are now fully approved for those aged 16 and older. The approval is expected to set off more vaccine mandates by employers and organizations across the country. It comes amid lingering vaccine hesitancy among many Americans. In a statement, the FDA said its review for approval included data from approximately 44,000 people. The vaccine, which will now be marketed as Comirnaty, was found to be 91% effective in preventing COVID disease. Acting FDA Commissioner Janet Woodcock said that the public, quote, can be very confident the vaccine meets high safety, effectiveness, and manufacturing quality standards. At least 5 people have been killed and 6 injured in a fire at an offshore oil platform owned by Mexico's state-run company Pemex. Rescue workers are still searching for 2 people who are missing. The fire also caused work to be halted at 125 oil wells for which the platform provides gas and electricity. The incident comes 6 weeks after a gas leak in an underwater Pemex pipeline triggered a fire on the ocean's surface in the Gulf of Mexico. The July blaze was dubbed Eye of Fire, with footage widely shared on social media. Both the blaze and the one which broke out on Sunday were linked to Pemex's most important oil development, Kuma-Lubzabe, located in the Gulf of Mexico. The Sports Writers Association of Ghana has announced December 3, 2021 as the date for the 46th edition of the annual SWAG Awards. The 2021 edition of the prestigious and longest-running award event in Ghana will confer honors on the nation's most distinguished sports personalities in the year under review. The 46th edition of the awards will be characterized by beauty and innovation, with pre-event ceremonies where already announced category winners will be decorated as special events ahead of the main event. SWAG Secretariat will, in the coming weeks, also announce the short list for the various categories from the SWAG Awards Nomination Committee. SWAG, the umbrella body for the sports media in Ghana, is the body solely responsible for honoring Ghanaian sportsmen and women who excel in their various fields. Egypt Football Association said on Monday Liverpool had refused to release Mohamed Salah for the Pharaohs' upcoming World Cup qualifiers against Angola and Gabon due to UK quarantine regulations. The association was informed by Liverpool on their regret of Mohamed Salah being unable to join the national team in their matches against Angola in Cairo and Gabon in Franceville as part of the World Cup qualifiers. the EFA said in a statement posted on its social media. British media reported earlier that the Reds were also refusing to release Fabinho, Roberto Firmino, and Alisson Becker for Brazil's 3 upcoming World Cup qualifiers. Both Egypt and Brazil are on the UK government's red lists. Egypt's governing body said the decision by Liverpool was prompted by, quote, mandatory isolation for 10 days for travelers returning from those countries. The artistic director and lead writer at Roverman Productions, James Abel White, says the creative and entertainment sector contributes to the stability and security of the country. Mr. Wright noted that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which took a significant toll on the arts industry in 2020, people, quote, fed on agitation from the political activities that took place as part of the electioneering campaign. The playwright therefore urged locally owned companies to readily offer support to the creative sector. Acknowledging that some of these businesses have also been badly impacted by the pandemic, Mr. White asked them to, quote, squeeze themselves a little to support arts and culture for the sake of social security. A second accuser took the stand at R. Kelly's sex trafficking trial on Monday, testifying that the star abused her, knowingly infected her with herbs, and ordered her to have an abortion. The woman, identified as Jane Doe No. 5, said her 5-year relationship with Mr. Kelly began in 2014, when she was 17. Alleged that the singer sought to control every detail of her life and would punish her if she did not comply. Mr. Kelly, 54, has denied the allegations against him. His lawyers have portrayed his accusers as groupies out for revenge after their relationships with the R&B singer faded.